Hey, it's Leanna with Chronic Inspiration, and I am here with another video for you. And we are talking about the top 5 tips to make your life as easy as possible on yourself. And if you like this video, I want to encourage you to give a thumbs up and hit subscribe and click that bell for notifications so that you can be notified the next time that I put out a video. So here we go. Number 1, you have to get enough sleep. I actually had a night the other day where I fell asleep at 5 o'clock in the evening, and I slept right through dinner and right through until the next day at, 6:30 in the morning. I felt so good. I got so much done that day. And then, of course, that night I went to bed early, but I slept late the next day. And then, of course, that next night I went to sleep at 2 and got up at 10:30. And so my biological clock, my internal clock reset itself. So that is my internal clock. I am a night owl, but it was really cool to do that, to go to sleep and get all that sleep. Um, I I do get enough sleep from like 2 to 10, and sometimes even 1 to 11. Sometimes I don't know. It just depends. Um, but that is the number one thing that I would recommend. And number one tip to make your life easier on yourself is make sure you get enough sleep. Number 2, learn to say no. You now have to take care of you. Otherwise, the burnout that you go through that would come up ahead is going to be way faster and way worse than it would be on someone without a chronic condition. Chronic pain and chronic condition is nothing to mess with. It can mess up your body like really quick. You can get into a flare that can last. It's mostly days and weeks, but my sister was in a flare once for 6 months. So you can go into flares for all kinds of reasons: going off medicines, going on medicines, change of environment, traveling, change of a holiday happening, and eating something that just sets off a trigger. And see, what happens when you have chronic illness is something gets set off, a trigger gets set off, and then you start to experience symptoms from it. And then what happens is those symptoms are setting off, a trigger to tell your body that your body is not healthy again. So then your body starts going into a flare. And what I mean by a flare is it just starts, it just kind of just starts fighting back. And kind of like when you have a headache coming on. I had gotten a phone call, so anyway, when you get a headache and you're trying to ignore the headache and you're just trying to push through the pain, and then the headache decides to fight back, and then you're really like, it really starts turning into a migraine on you. That's kind of what it's like when your body decides to fight back when you're in a flare. It's kind of like your whole body gets a headache. Spice, quit. Quit that. Yeah, quit. And when your whole body gets a headache, then you have to pay. Jeez, Leanna, gosh, you have to pay attention to it. You have to pay attention to your body when you get a headache. Um, when you start getting into a flare, I am distracted and I'm pissed. Spice, quit. Anywho, so that's step number 1, 2, 2, 1. Step number 1. Second step is eat enough food, because not eating enough food can make you weak, can make you hungry, and can put you into a flare. And these tips to simplify your life and to make your life easier on yourself is really to keep you out of flares. That's the big thing that you want to avoid when you have any chronic illness. It doesn't matter which one. Even if you get chronic migraines, there are things that a person who gets chronic migraines has to do in order to kind of keep the migraines at bay. There are things, and you make your life simple as possible on yourself. as easy as possible on yourself. So sorry to use that headaches metaphor again, but yeah. So eating right, eating enough. Eating enough is the big key here. Don't eat a lot of sugar either. I'm just going to throw that in there right now. I am someone who, like I said, I have a sweet palate. I love sugar. I have always loved sugar. I was born in the 70s, grew up in the 80s. And so processed sugar, that was my jam. That's what I ate. So it has taken me a long time. And I'm going to tell you right now, I still hate vegetables. I still hate them. I will eat a protein shake one after another rather than eat a smoothie. It's crazy, but I'm trying. I'm trying. And that's what you need to do. Um, the um, the third the third tip to make life easier on yourself is have routines. If you work outside of the home, then have a routine for yourself. Lay out your things the night before that you need to take to work the next day, the outfit you're going to wear, things like that. Try to remove all of the urgency and spontaneity that you possibly can, because you get excited about things, whether it's a good excitement like, oh, yay, yay, or if it's a bad excitement like, oh, crap, what am I going to wear? Those are things that, once again, are not good for your body. They can put you into a flare. So making your life as even keeled as possible with routines, then that's the number 3 thing that I would do to be easier on yourself. Number 4 is have a pet. That sounds like it would be work and be hard on yourself, but I'm going to tell you why it's not. Having a pet, especially if you live alone, and even if you are married with kids, having your own pet can be transformative, because when you have a chronic illness, most people that have chronic illnesses and chronic pain, suffer from depression, because it is very disparaging. No, it is. I don't know what the word is, but it's very depressing. To think that you're going to have that condition for the rest of your life, and it puts you into a panic mode. Does me and other people that I know. And having a pet really just allows you to get that unconditional love from that pet, and they love you, they want to help you, they want to make you better. Now, in some instances, you can even get a therapy dog, and you can take that dog with you everywhere. That is depending on what your afflictions are and your situation, and if that's something that you desire. Because yes, taking care of a pet is always there. You got to get them groomed, you got to get them to the vet, you got to take care of their food and their bathroom habits. All 4 of those top big things with having a pet. But it's still, I think the love trumps it. I really do. It's hard to do it full time. So if you do live by yourself, take that into consideration, that you do want maybe a cat instead of a dog. I'm going to tell you, I never would have guessed that cats can be therapeutic, because I never had that relationship with a cat, but I have my cat now. We have a whole routine going from the morning until the midday to the evening, and has a routine. And it's so funny that to watch her, how she includes me in it. She just lays on my lap, lays next to me on the bed, and watches me write with my pen and tries to get the pen. And just doing that is so much fun that I just can't hardly stand it. It's so great. So that's number 3. Yeah. Number 4 is keep as many friends as you can. Now, you're not going to be able to go to as many events, and you are going to have to learn to say no. Yeah, I think that's number 4, is learn to say no. However, your world can get very very small very fast. That's what happened to me, and I don't have any friends left. I have family, but I do not have any friends. I have tried to reach out to the friends I have. They don't respond. I lost my best friend after 20 years. She decided to not be friends with me anymore. A guy that I knew in high school, one of my ex-boyfriends, we kept in touch all the time, and he was a riot, but he stopped calling me. So there's, different ways that your world can get small. I don't work out of the home now. When you stay at a job, it gives you a purpose, and you get the friends, and you have the social life is kind of built in there with lunches and things like that. And that's fun, and I would encourage someone to do that on a regular small basis, not something. You can't be going out all the time and doing stuff that we've already discussed. You need to have routines, but you do need to maintain a social life. That is very, very important. So, and you need to stick to what you say. You need to mean what you say what you mean, and just kind of stick to that and do it. Like, for example, this YouTube channel I have here, I desperately want to put out videos Wednesdays and Sundays. Here it is, a Thursday, and I'm doing yesterday's video. I can't stand that about myself. I'm still striving for it, and I'm stubborn, and I'm going to do it. But until then, I hope that you can forgive me. And I hope that you still will follow my channel. Now, so that's number 4. You want to keep your social life as much as you can, as much as possible, because you do have to take care of yourself. And number 5 is have a spiritual side to yourself. We already talked about how having a chronic illness can make you depressed, and most people that do have chronic illnesses suffer from depression and anxiety and things like that. So make sure you have a spiritual side. Meditate, pray, do some yoga positions 3 times a week, something like that. Gentle stretching, gentle. It's very important to be gentle. But having that spiritual side will give you an inner calm right through here, from the head down to the throat, which is what the chakra for the throat chakra is. It helps you with keeping things in and speaking out. And you speak out. You have to get that out of your system. You cannot carry around in your system, in your gut, in your heart, in your throat. You can't carry around those things that are toxic, because they will do nothing but make your life worse. They will do no favors for you. So I actually do know the chakras. I haven't done them in a long time, but they actually do work. The first time that I balanced my chakras, my face went into facial twitches when I got up, because you start at the bottom at the base chakra, and you go up. And so when I got up to my face, my my face started twitching. It was very, very weird. But after it was all done, I felt great. It took a long time. I sat there and meditated on the chakras for like about, I don't know, 2 hours. There's colors, there's tones, there's feeling it in your area of your body and releasing that ball of toxic energy that's in there. And I'm going to tell you what, it ain't no joke. It is no joke. There is a lot of truth to that. I meditate. Geez, but making this video, I haven't done it in a long time. I've been sidetracked. Life gets in the way. So here's what I recommend. I've given you the 5 steps. The first one, or the 5 tips. The first one is get enough sleep. Hands down, you gotta get enough sleep. The second one, you gotta eat enough, and you gotta eat the right things. The third one is have a routine. You need to have a routine. You need to eat your meals at the same time, go to bed, get up at the same time. You need to have your routines down to where you have everything ready the night before for the next day, all of that. Let's see, that was number 3. Number 4 is don't lose your social life. You want to keep and maintain a social life if you can. Don't let your medical problem get your world down to where it's so small. You don't want that to happen. And number 5 is you have to keep a spiritual side to yourself. You just do. You have to keep it so you don't go crazy and you don't lose your mind, because when you have a chronic illness, all that goes on through your head is, what's the point of this? What's the point of this? What's the point of this? You know, it is, I have changed so much, and I have gotten so negative, and I really don't like it. But I'm going to tell you what, it is so hard. It is so hard to get out of that. I'm doing all of this. I'm doing this YouTube channel, and I'm still struggling every day with, you know, with not having that negativity. It's a killer. It's awful. So you have to keep that spiritual side to yourself, spiritual / religious. I mean, whatever your jam is. So those are my five ways to make life easier on yourself if you have a chronic illness. Start doing them in the beginning. Don't stop. Keep going with them. Live your life according to them. And I am actually going to list them down and put them in a prominent spot here for just for myself. And I'm going to start living my life better with them, and I'm going to see what happens. So there you go. And I really hope that you like this video. And if you do, give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe so that you can subscribe to all of my videos. And to make sure you get notified, click the bell, and you will get notified the next time that I put out a video. I am Leanna Adkins, and this has been Chronic Inspiration. I am Leanna Adkins, and this is Chronic Inspiration for Wednesday's video, one day late, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.